Hi friends, today I'm sitting in my home in North Carolina, but I'm thinking about you. And the reason I'm thinking about you is the truth is, if you read the comments and on the blog as well as what I write, you find out that we all struggle with the same things. And I think that one of the main struggles for speakers is dealing with our nerves. Now, I will assure you, if you're a beginner, it does get better, but I have to tell you that it hasn't ever completely gone away. It kind of depends on the setting I'm in. In fact, last week I had to MC for a friend's event, and I find that MCing is really a lot harder for me than speaking, so I was super nervous. But I wanted to share a few things that helped me. I think one of the things that is so amazing about the way that we're made in God's image is that just like God is a triune being, He is the Trinity, or maybe not just like, but similarly, we are made of three parts. We're body, soul, and spirit. So today, I wanted to give you 3 tips. One for your body, one for your spirit, and then finally one for your soul. So let me tell you the one for your body. This one works fantastically for me. It never fails that people laugh at me when I share this tip, but I'm telling you, don't laugh, try it. It's called square breathing. And the way that it works is this. You are going to do 4 slow counts of 4. On the first count, you're going to inhale slowly through your nose while counting to 4. The second 4, you're going to hold it for 4 counts. The third 4 counts, you're going to exhale slowly through your mouth. The last 4 counts, you're going to hold it, and then you'll repeat it as many times as you need to. Now, you might say, that's a really strange exercise, but it does a couple things. It really is scientific. First of all, it keeps you from hyperventilating, and it floods your body with oxygen. It slows down my shakes. It helps make my voice so it's not trembling, and my heart stops pounding. The other thing I think that it does is sort of secondary, and that's it helps my brain to focus on something else besides being nervous. So instead of thinking, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4 over and over again. So that's your tip for your body. Here's your tip for your spirit, and it comes from Colossians 3. Verses 1 and 2. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Now, those things, Colossians says, they're good for your spirit, to set our hearts and our minds on things above. But maybe you're thinking, okay, in the abstract, maybe that's not too difficult, but I'd like to know how that works out in your head, Amy. Well, that addresses my third tip, which is setting your soul right and helping your soul settle down when you're nervous. And your soul is made up of your mind and on your emotions. So in some ways, it really addresses that Colossians 3. It's heart and mind. And here's the lesson that God has taught me. When I start getting nervous, I start to remember and start to think what God spoke to me several years ago during an event where I had really gotten shaken up. I felt like a failure. I was begging God to redeem the time. And as I sat and I prayed and I cried out to God, He said to me, Amy, if you will take your focus off yourself, and if you will love me more than anything, and if you will love the women in the room, it's going to be okay. And that echoes through my mind before I speak, anytime I speak, but especially when I'm nervous. I remind myself, okay, I'm going to focus on God because this is really all about Him. And then I'm going to look out at those faces across the room and I'm going to love them. I'm going to ask God to help me love them the way He loves them. And I'm going to deliver that message to bless them and to reach out to them. So those are some tips for relaxing before you speak. Try square breathing for your body. Try memorizing Colossians 3, 1 and 2 for your spirit. And try focusing on God and loving the women in the room for your soul. See you next week.